Thank you for watching. This time, we are at Nagasaki Port Terminal building to enjoy a cruise to Gunkanjima. There are several companies offering cruises to Gunkanjima, but this time we will be using the cruise operated by Nagasaki. The day after staying at Stadium City Hotel Nagasaki, I booked an early morning flight departing at 9 a.m. I left with plenty of time to spare, but for some reason I always end up rushing at the last minute. I have to hurry or I won't make it in time. Unfortunately, due to the rainy weather, we were worried about whether we would be able to set sail, but we were able to proceed with boarding procedures as it was determined that we could sail safely. However, there is always the uncertainty of whether the ship will be able to dock and whether we will be able to disembark, as this will only be determined upon arrival at the destination. This cruise is a test of our daily conduct. By the way, Nagasaki offers an early bird discount for its Gunkanjima landing cruise, allowing you to participate in the cruise for 3,600 yen, a discount of up to 900 yen. So, it is advantageous to make an early reservation. I will post a link to Nagasaki website in the overview section, so please check it out if you are interested. We may not have the right to choose, but we are discussing where to sit on the ship. It's still mid-February, so should we sit inside where it's warm, or sit on the deck to prioritize filming? We are just small-time YouTubers, so we have to make choices that will entertain our many viewers. This is the answer we came up with. Yes, the only option is inside the ship. I'm sorry, but it's too cold outside. No, it was warm inside the ship, there was little swaying, and it was very comfortable. As you can see, even if you are able to disembark, the area you can actually walk around is very limited, but now that we are finally departing, the boat ride to Gunkanjima takes about 30 to 40 minutes.
この工場は江戸時代幕末の創業開始となっております。およそ160年の歴史を持つ造船工場です。また現在ちょうど右手真横この工場に設置され
The ship's announcements provided explanations about the history of the factories and bridges visible from the ship, from their origins to the present day, so I never got bored. I also recommend bringing your own drinks. I went out on the deck, thinking I might be able to see Gunkanjima soon, but it wasn't as cold as I had expected. The rain had stopped, and it was warm enough that I thought I should have stayed on the deck from the beginning. This is the second floor deck, but it doesn't seem to be affected by the wind as much as I thought, and it wasn't as cold as I had imagined. It's coming into view. That's Gunkanjima. As many of you may know, Gunkanjima is the common name for this island, but its official name is Hashima. Well, it's finally time to go ashore, but look, everyone, they're fishing over there. I always wonder, what do they do when they get stomachaches? They're not wearing diapers, are they? Well, I guess that's how it is, but fishermen's passion is amazing, isn't it? Actually, everyone, I just found out at this point, but in order to avoid crowding, the customers were divided into 3 groups, and we were in the last group. After the landing tour, we will cruise around Gunkanjima, but since the first group will have finished their tour and returned to the ship, we will inevitably get the best seats. I think the groups are assigned in order of boarding procedure, so if you want to take good photos and videos, I recommend completing the boarding procedure as early as possible. Well, it's finally time to land. My heart is pounding. We walk in a long line like this, but we walk at the back so that our photography does not disturb other customers. I will ask the staff about this later, but they said that this area was completely destroyed by the waves. It does not appear to have collapsed due to aging.
あれ崩れてるのもその波で。
波で壊れたり。
へえ。 工事してんのかな、これ。
From here, I would like to touch on the history of Hashima Island. The discovery of coal is generally believed to date back to 1810, about 215 years ago, during the Edo period. In 1890, Meiji 23, the then owner transferred the island to Mitsubishi, which led to the rapid growth of the Hashima coal mine. At this point, I would like to return to the microphone on site. I will continue later.
これもなんですか、波でやられてるんですか。うわ、すごい。
もともと島の海岸線がこの内側のなんていうの、こう
はいはいはい。ああ、そうなんだ。ここが拡張したんだな。ああ、なるほどね。
Yes, continuing on, by around 1897, the pier was completed, and ships could dock without the need for barges, as it became easier for people to come and go from the island. The supply of drinking water began with the installation of salt-making and distillation equipment, and the living environment was improved. As necessary facilities were added, such as the establishment of an elementary school, the area around the island was gradually reclaimed to expand its size. The final size is approximately 6.3 hectares, elongated from north to south, with a length of about 480 meters and a width of about 160 meters, making it a small artificial island equivalent to 1.35 Tokyo domes. In fact, Japan's first reinforced concrete apartment building was constructed in building number 30 on Hashima Island. This was in 1916, Taisho 5, about 109 years ago. In that year, the Osaka Asahi Shimbun newspaper reported that the exterior of Hashima Island resembles a warship, meaning that it looked so much like a warship that it could be mistaken for one, which is how it came to be called Gunkanjima, Battleship Island. Thus, the nickname Gunkanjima has over 100 years of history. By 1937, facilities for education, healthcare, commerce, and entertainment were already well developed, to the point where it was said that Hashima had everything. Temples, shrines, and even movie theaters were established, allowing residents to watch the latest films. Some people even traveled from the mainland to Hashima specifically to watch these latest films. There are also records indicating that there were 2 pachinko parlors on the island. 2, not just one. Perhaps they were competing like Maruhan and Dynam today, with people discussing which one had better payouts or tighter pins. However, the only things missing from Hashima were a crematorium and a cemetery. Those who passed away were reportedly transported to the mainland for cremation. The landing tour ends here, and the landing time is about 45 minutes. From here, we will move on to the sightseeing tour. You can see Gunkanjima 360 degrees from the ship.
When I break through
壊れております。またもう一つ木造建築物があった場所、本日は残っているのはコンクリート製三角屋根のこちらのみが残っている状況です。またちょうど右手前この辺りが一番アパート密集して立ち並んでおりますが、実はあなたに台風接近の際などは岩を踏み込むほどの大きな波しぶきが打ち寄せてくることもあったそうです。このため立ち並んでいるアパートの上からゴミの水、排水が通ってくるような日もあったそうで、当時の住民の方々、西側の海岸線この辺りも別名塩振り町という表記が呼ばれております。またこの西側の少し緑色の壁が残っている4階建てくらいの建物が見えております。こちらが病院の跡です。この軍艦島は小さな島ではございますが、石炭採掘の作業、大変危険な作業でございます。また最盛期には人口5000名を超える時代もありましたので。
Returning to the topic of history, coal production reached its peak during World War II in 1941, Showa 16, with approximately 410,000 tons of coal mined. This equates to approximately 45,000 dump trucks worth of coal mined and shipped in a single year. The population peaked in 1960, Showa 35, so approximately 5,300 people were living on Hashima Island about 65 years ago. However, around this time, the primary energy source began to shift from coal to oil. Due to changes in energy policy, development off the coast of Hashima was halted in 1970, and the mine closed on January 15, 1974, Showa 49. By the time of closure, the population had decreased to approximately 2,000, and by April 20th, all residents had left the island. On April 20th, with the final ferry departure, Hashima became an uninhabited island. I have summarized only the surface-level aspects, but Hashima, which spanned from before the war to the post-war era, is filled with various delicate historical events. However, it is true that until about 51 years ago, this place was filled with various human stories, and I feel it is important not to forget the gratitude we owe to the history that has shaped us. So, how did you like the Gunkanjima landing cruise? Thank you for watching until the end. Since the number of channel subscribers and views has not increased significantly, I tried adding narration for the first time this time. How did you like it? If it is well received, I would like to continue doing so please subscribe to the channel and give it a thumbs up. See you on the next trip. Goodbye.